Hi students, welcome to Sri Ramanja Vidya Mandir, a temple for learning. Children, in the previous class we discussed regarding the friction, what is static friction, what is kinetic friction, and what is the behavior of static friction, and some problems also means how to use free body diagram in order to determine some friction force. These all we are about to discuss in this today's session, children. So in the last class, just introduction regarding what is static and kinetic friction and how to apply. In this session I will show. I will use the help of I will take free body diagram and I will apply net force equations in order to derive what is the frictional force. Okay, children. So just recollect once what is friction. Friction is the force which opposes the motion, children. It opposes the motion. Okay, and it is created due to attraction between ions between the two surfaces. Okay, and see, children, here the friction again divided into two types. Even if you observe while we are walking also, there will be some friction. We will be in movement, we will be in motion. In that condition, there is existing of some friction. That is friction. That friction is nothing but what, children? Kinetic friction. That is kinetic friction. Suppose now I am not moving anywhere, I am just standing. Even now I have friction force between the floor and my feet. At the surface, friction is acting. What is that friction, children? Static friction. Since I was not moving and the friction is acting, that friction we can say as static friction. Okay, children, like this we will consider, but here one important point is there. I said that friction, usually static friction means in any book you can refer, the definition will be the friction acting at the surface of contact when the block is at rest or when the body is at rest. Okay, the definitions and all, even the formula we discussed in the earlier class. Okay, but some points are there, children. Once see here, some few points. This is the block, children. This is the block, and it was kept on a surface. Okay, now this one is some rough surface, children. Okay, there is some rigid surface. See now, here the mass of the block is m, children, and here two persons are there. Okay, what these two persons were standing, children? Person 1 and person 2. 1 and 2. Okay, children, 1 and 2. So here one see, children, the objective of this first person is to move the block. Objective of first person is what, children? To move the block. His aim is to move the block. He is trying to move the block. But what the second person doing, children? He tries to keep in rest condition. He tries to keep the block in rest condition. Understood now, children? One block is there. Okay, on either side of the block, two persons were standing and they are exerting some force on the block. Okay, children? First person applying force and he is trying to move the block. Let us consider that force as capital F. And second person also applying the force, children. Let us consider that one as small f. Let us consider that one as small f. Okay. So this is the arrangement, children. Very, very simple arrangement. Here one block was there and two persons were standing on either side of the block and they are trying to, one person trying to move that one by applying force capital F. In the opposite direction, another person trying to stop it. One person trying to move, another person trying to stop. Okay, children. But here, one see, children, This one has a limit. Second person has limit, children. He can exert force maximum up to 20 newtons. Okay, this is the limit. Here L means limit, children. What is the limit? He can exert only 20 newtons of force. More than that he can't give. Every person has some potential, no, children. Okay. So what is the potential of that second person? He can give only 20 newtons of force. More than that he can't apply the force. Okay. So see, children. Now first person not applying any force, children. Force applied by the first person 0. Okay, that force, that pushing force is what, children? 0. This one is 0. Capital F 0. What is the objective, children? The block should not move, right? Block should be in rest condition. Okay, what is the aim of that second person? He wants to keep it in rest condition. Okay, second person wants to keep the block in rest condition. Now, the first person not applying any force, children. First person not applying any force. So, in order to make it rest, that second person also won't apply any force, no, children. Understood? Here, this is the block. Okay. The force applied by the first person is 0 newtons, children. In order to keep it in rest condition, what will be the force applied by second person, children? First person not applying any force, 0. So second person also, in order to make it rest, he also applied 0 newtons. Means what? He is also not applying any force. Understood, children? In order to make this block in rest, okay, see, first person not applying any force. He is not touching the block. So that second person also won't apply any force because the block already it is in rest condition. Is this clear, children? Now, second case. Second case, children. The force applied by the first person now it is 5 newtons. Force applied by the first person 5 newtons. Okay, he may apply the 5 newtons. But what second person will do, children? He is trying to make the block in rest now. See, this is the block. Okay, now the first person increased 5 newtons of force. In order to keep the block in rest condition, in order to make it equilibrium, how much force the second person will apply, children? 5 newtons only, no? If on either side 5 newtons, then the block will be in rest condition. Okay, so here capital F 5 newtons. Capital F 5 newtons, children. Here that second person force is small f. Now we are denoting with small f. Small f 5 newton. Is this clear? Next, let us consider few more cases. Now first person increased force, children. Now he applied 10 newtons of force. Now that first person increased the force to 10 newtons. In order to make it rest condition, what that second person do, children? Now this block must be in rest. At any case, this should be in rest. So what that second person will do? How much force he will apply in order to make it rest? 10 newtons only. 10 newtons. Okay, this one is small f. This one capital F. Okay, children. This should be in rest. For that, other person also applying 10 newtons of force. Now the force 20 newtons, children. First person increased his force to 20 newtons. What do that second person do, children? Now what he will do, that second person? Second person also applies 20 newtons only, no, in order to make it rest. In order to make it in rest condition, what that second person do, children? He will also apply 20 newtons of force. Okay. Twenty newtons. Now this is the case, children. He increased his force to, first person increased his force to 21 newton. Okay. Is this clear, children? Now first person increased his force to 21 newtons in order to make it move. Now what that second person do, children? He will also apply 21 newtons. Is this correct, children? Can second person apply 21 newtons? How much force second person can apply? What is the limit for second person? 20 newtons. Okay, so this much of force second person can't apply. How much force he can apply, children? His maximum limit is 20 newtons. So he applies only 20 newtons of force. Okay, this is his limit. Okay, that is small f. This one capital F. Children, now say whether the block will move or rest. Okay, once if you see, on one side it is 21, on other side it is 20, means the force is not balanced, unbalanced forces are acting on it. One side force is more, other side force is less, so obviously the block will move. Okay, children, so the block will no longer be in rest condition, it will be in motion now. Okay, now the block came into motion. Is this clear, children? Okay, now once observe, children, here when first person not applying any force, when it is 0, in order to make the block in rest, that person second person also won't apply any force, because anyway it is in rest. When that first person increased his force to 5 newton, that second person also increased his force to 5 newton, so that again the block will be in rest condition. Now this first person increased his force to 10 newtons, that second person also increased his force to 10 newtons, so that again the forces will be balanced and the block will be in rest. Now that first person increased his force to 20 newton. Okay, second person also increased his force to 20 newton. Why he will increase, children? Because the block should be in rest condition, so he increased 20 newtons. 20 newtons, 20 newtons, both were balanced condition, so again the block will be in rest condition, rest. Now that first person increased his force to 21 newtons, children. Now further he increased it to 21 newton. Are you expecting that second person to increase to 21 newtons? He can't exert that much of force. His potential is limited. He can exert only 20 newtons. That second person has a potential, he can exert only up to 20 newtons of force. Okay, so he applied 20 newtons of force only, but since the applied force is more here, 21 newtons, 21, 20, both were not balancing, children. Unbalanced forces are acting. Whenever there is action of unbalanced forces, the body will undergo into motion, non-uniform motion. Understood, children? So here at this condition the block came into motion. Now children, what I am saying is, replace that small f with static friction. That second person is nothing but static friction, children. This f is nothing but static friction. Till now I am discussing about static friction, children. That second person is nothing but static friction. Okay, this first person is nothing but applied force. Understood, children? Okay, what static friction will do, children? I discussed already. Static friction will make the body to be in rest condition. So if you see this entire thing, that block is in rest condition up to F is equal to 20 newtons. Yes or no, children? See here, now if I am applying force on this panel, it is not moving because no one is standing on the other side. Friction itself is acting. Understood, no, children? Suppose if you are about to move any object, at a sudden you can't move. You can feel some opposition. Other side, no one will be there. You may be thinking that it is due to weight, but listen, children, it is due to the friction. If friction not there, whatever may be the weight, if you apply small amount of force, it will move. Because there is action of friction, what will happen? It will oppose. It oppose the applied force. That's why the block can't move. So children, in this entire discussion, in this story, replace this character second person with static friction, and this is the nature of static friction. When you won't apply any force, static friction also won't apply any force, children. So no static friction. No static friction here. Static friction F equal to 0 newtons in the sense what? When we got this one, when applied force 0. So whenever the applied force is 0, static friction also 0, which means when no force is acting on the body, there won't be action of static friction also, children. Here the thing is, if you are not applying any force on the body, static friction also won't act. It also 0. When static friction will act, force must be applied and it should be 0. Block should be in rest condition and force must be applied. Only in that condition we can expect static friction. Understood, children? Okay. When you are not applying any force, see now I am not applying any force here on this panel board. Okay. Means what? Still it is in rest condition. Means there is no, don't think that due to friction it is in rest condition. Because this board is entirely in equilibrium condition, that's why it is in rest condition, children. Okay. Here no force is, no friction is acting on this board. At this moment, see, children, I am not touching this one, even though it is in rest condition. Means what? No friction also acting on this. Okay. When applied force is 0, friction force also 0, children. That is the okay. This one is important condition actually. If you want to get static friction, there must be applied force, or else we can't expect static friction. That is first point. Now see, children, when you increase the force to 5 Newton, static friction also increases to 5 Newton. When you increase it to 10 Newton, static friction also increases to 10 Newton. When you increase it to 20 Newton, static friction also increases to 20 Newton. Means what, children? Static friction is self-adjusting force. Okay, children, static friction is what? Self-adjusting force. Okay. See, when the applied force is increasing, static friction also increasing. No, in order to make the body in rest condition. So, friction can be regarded as self-adjusting force. Next, one subject, children, here. See, at the last case, when the applied force crosses the limit, see, children, friction also has some limit. That is called limiting friction. Okay, limiting friction or maximum static friction. Maximum static friction, that is how much? 20 newtons here. In this example, maximum static friction is 20 newtons. See, children, maybe it is in rest condition now, but if I increase the force, slowly it starts moving now. Means what? Up to some level, the force, friction force, can resist my applied force, and this board can be in rest condition. Suppose if I increase my force further, the friction force can't give that much of force, can't oppose. Okay, so body will move. Any heavy object, children, up to some level it will be in rest. If you keep on increasing the force, applying force, then obviously the block will come into rest, come into motion, right? Means what? It has a limit. Like everything has some expiry date. Everything has a limit. That's let's see. If you take vehicles, all vehicles can't give same output, same speed. every individual vehicle has individual capacity. So here also, at this particular body, at this particular surface, the force whatever can be possible is, whatever it can be possible value is 20. Possible limiting friction is, possible static friction is 20 children. More than that, friction can't give. So that is the reason what happened here. When you increase the force to 21 Newton, since the friction can't give that much of force, okay, our force became more and the body starts moving. Okay children, is it clear? So let's make conclusion for this children. If applied see children, if no force, or take applied force children, if applied force is 0, if applied force is 0, static friction also 0. So what is the necessary condition for getting the static friction children? What is first condition? The necessary condition is, what is necessary condition children here? What is the necessary condition? External force must be applied. External force must be applied. For what it is necessary condition children? Okay, this necessary condition is for getting static friction. Okay, without force, without external force, we can't expect static friction. Okay. Next, what is another necessary condition children? The block should be in rest. Okay, or body must be in rest condition. Or in state of rest, whatever, it should be in rest condition children. Only in that case, static friction exists. Okay, only in these two cases. These are necessary conditions for getting static friction children. Okay, so external force must be applied, but still the block should be in rest, the body should be in rest condition. Okay children. Next, another example we have seen, another point we have noticed. What it is? Whenever we are increasing the applied force, static friction also increasing. Means what? There is a, see children, there is no special mechanism for that. Static friction on its own, it is increasing the force. Means static friction is self adjusting force. Static friction is what children? Self adjusting force. Okay, static friction is self adjusting force. Next, see children here, once see here, I will take capital F applied force children, capital F in the sense applied force. When applied force greater than static friction, when applied force equal to static friction, when applied force less than static friction. Which static friction children? Maximum static friction. What is that one? Maximum static friction. Okay, maximum static friction. Simply I will represent like this children. F suffix ms. F suffix ms. Maximum static friction, children, simply I will represent as F suffix ms. M is maximum, S is static. Okay. So whenever the applied force, see children, capital F is what? Applied force. Capital F is applied force. When the applied force is greater than maximum static friction, applied force less than static friction, see children here, let us take the first condition. See children, I am taking the first condition as F less than FMS. F less than FMS. Applied force is less than maximum static friction. Okay, in this case, how the block will be, children? Block will be in. How this block will be? In this case, the block will be in rest condition. Rest. Even when F is equal to FMS also, the block will be in rest condition, children. Block will be in rest condition. Now, when F is greater than FMS, in this case, the block is coming into the motion. See children, this one is maximum limiting friction there, no children. Limiting is nothing but FMS only. Okay, FMS, that is 20. We took here 20. When applied force is greater than maximum static friction, what happened, children? Here block came into motion. Okay, when applied force is equal to static friction, see children, applied force, static friction, both are equal, 20-20. Still the block remaining in rest condition. Okay, remaining cases, see children, applied force 10, static friction is means maximum static friction is, see children, maximum static friction 20. Okay, applied force is 10, means again if it is less than FMS. Here applied force is 5, maximum static friction 20, means again it is less, and this one also. So in all these cases, you can observe the block is in rest condition whenever the applied force is less than or equal to FMS. Okay children, so in this case what happened? The block is in rest condition. Block is in rest condition when applied force is less than or equal to FMS. Okay children, one more point here. Once observe, here applied force is how much, children? 5 Newton. Static friction also how much applied, children? Here static friction applied also 5 only, no? Okay, here applied force is 10 newtons. Once recognize all these points, notice Fs also 10 newtons only, no children? Opposite force also 10. Okay, here Fs applied force 20, static friction also 20. Means what, children? Here I think you got the conclusion what I want to say. Here whenever the body is in rest condition, static friction is equal to what, children? Applied force only. We no need to do any special mathematical simplifications for finding out that. When you recognize that body is in rest condition, we no need to do any simplifications, children. Directly we can write static friction as the applied force. When we can do like that, block should be in rest. When the block is in rest condition, static friction is nothing but applied force. Okay, see children, don't confuse here, don't get confused. Here Fs is there, FMS also there, children. Two things are there, Fs and FMS. Okay, what is Fs, children? What is Fs? Static friction. Force due to static friction. Okay, what is FMS, children? What is FMS? Maximum static friction. Maximum static friction. Okay children, both are different quantities. We should not different things. We should not think both are equal. Fs is different, Fms is different. Fms means maximum static friction, children. The value is constant. This value constant. But this value changes with applied force. When the applied force changes, children, static friction also changing now. When applied force is 0, static friction 0. When applied force is 5, static friction 5. When applied force 10, static friction 10. When applied force 20, static friction 20. Means when we are changing applied force, static friction also changing. That is Fs. But which one is constant? Fms. The limit. Okay, the limit is constant. That is in this problem it is 20 newtons, children. In this problem it is 20 newtons. See, children, I will write clearly here again. In this problem, in this example, Fms is how much, children? 20 newtons. We considered 20 newtons. That is Fms. But here whatever the values we are taking, those all are what, children? Fs means static friction. Fms means that is the maximum limit. Okay, that is constant. Fs is what, children? Static friction which is acting at that moment. When we are applying the force, at that moment static friction will act. When we are changing the applied force, that static friction also changes. Is it clear, children? Okay. So when do the block coming into the motion, children? When do that block came into the motion condition? Whenever the applied force is greater than Fms. See, children, when applied force greater than maximum static friction, block came into motion, no, children. Block came into motion. So here we should not talk about static friction. When the block came into the motion, we should not discuss about, we should not focus on static friction. Okay, from here onwards static friction disappears. We should not bother about it. Static friction won't act. But which friction will act, children, now? As soon as the block came into the motion, okay, the friction what is about to act is kinetic friction. Kinetic friction. Okay, when the applied force exceeds maximum static friction, when the applied force exceeds greater than maximum static friction, the block coming into the motion, children, as soon as it get into motion, we should not speak about static friction. It becomes 0. Static friction doesn't exist at all. And at that moment, so which friction will act? That is kinetic friction, children. Kinetic friction. Okay. So children, see here some important points are there. See, children, when the applied force less than Fms, applied force equal to Fms, applied force greater than Fms. So here in this condition and in this condition, block is in rest. At this moment, static friction will act. Static friction will act. And what is that value, children? How much is that value? Fs is equal to applied force. How much is the applied force? That much only static friction. While coming to here, children, this is some special case. Here, which friction will act? First analyze what is the condition of the body. Body coming into the motion, and the friction whatever acting here is kinetic friction, F suffix k. This is how we use it to represent. F suffix k. K means kinetic, F is friction. force due to friction. So here this Fk, what is the formula, children? Fk is equal to mu k into n. Fk is equal to mu k into n. Is it clear, children? Okay, Fk is equal to mu k into n, that is fine. Fs is equal to applied force, that is fine. But what about FMS, children? You may get doubt. How to calculate this FMS? How to find what is the maximum static friction? Here is the formula. FMS is equal to mu s into n. This is the formula, children. See, children, I want to give you clarity regarding Fk and FMS. That's why I written at the same place. Fk is different, children. Here the constant is mu suffix k. This one is mu suffix k into n. Coming to here, it is mu suffix n multiplied with n. See, children, mu s and mu k, two different terms are there. Mu s and mu k. What is mu s, children? Coefficient of static friction. And this one, children, coefficient of, I hope you can guess what is this coefficient of kinetic friction. Is this clear? Both are coefficients only, children. Coefficients only. That is mu. Okay. Children, see here. In questions, in problem solving, they will give you what is mu s and mu k both. As per our requirement, we will solve. Okay. So here, see, in some questions you may not find mu s and mu k. Okay, mu s and mu k sometimes you may not find, which means is the question wrong? That question is not. Question will be always correct. But what is the thing here? It is the coefficient of friction. That's it. Coefficient of friction. You might have find this one, children, only mu without any suffix like s or k, only mu. That mu represents coefficient of friction, that's it. It is not either kinetic, not either static, children. Okay. Even you want to find whether you want to find a mu s or fs or fk, instead of mu s and mu k, directly you can use this. Mu and mu multiplied with n. Okay, children, mu into n. Whether it is FKS, FS, FK or FMS also, maximum static friction. What it is, children? Mu into n. Mu into n. Okay, basing on the requirement. Whether whatever we need to find. Okay, suppose in questions if the values are given, it's okay, mu s and mu k. Suppose if the values they did not mention, definitely they will mention this mu, coefficient of friction value. Okay, children, and important point is this mu depends on mu value, coefficient of friction depends on material. Mu act between the surface of contact only, but that surfaces have some different kind of material. Each material have means different kind of materials having different types of mu values. If material change, mu also changes. Is this clear, children? Mu as we can take independent. It depends only on material, children. If surface is rough, if surface is more rough, and if surface is rough, less roughness, having less roughness. Okay, if more roughness, mu value will be more. If less roughness, mu value will be less. If surface roughness is less, mu value is less. If surface roughness is more, mu value will be more. And one more point, children. Mu s will be always greater than mu k. Individually, whenever you whenever you are finding the question in terms of mu s and mu k, if you find any data in the question, you can easily guess this one. Mu s will be always greater than mu k. Mu s, coefficient of static friction, will be always greater than mu k. Okay, children. So that's all for this session. We will meet with an interesting topic in the upcoming session. Okay, children. Thank you and have a nice day.